Bye bye blues, bye bye blues. Bells ring, birds sing, sun is shining, no more pining, just we two smiling through. Don't sigh, don't cry, bye bye blues. Bye bye blues, bye bye blues. Bells ring, birds sing, the sun is shining, no more pining, just we two smiling through. Don't cry, don't sigh, bye bye blues. Hi everybody, we're going to say bye bye to the blues, and we're just going to have a good time today. Thank you for being here again this week, and every week we have a new show. There's no theme to this show today. It's just kind of a little bit of everything. The next one that I'm going to do, for some reason, when I do this song, I think of Tony Artiglieri, which, by the way, has a birthday today. And today I'm recording on Wednesday, so so when you see this, it'll be on Friday. He'll already been celebrating his birthday for a couple of days. But I guess it's because one day I was asked to do a song for the Friends, one of the Friends programs, and they asked me to do a song, "You Got a Friend," and I thought it was the one that was from Golden Girls, "You've Got a Friend," but it wasn't. No, and I didn't have time to get it done, so they used the recording from Toy Story. All right, so it goes like this, folks. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, just remember what your old pal said. You got a friend in me. 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 You got troubles, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we see it through. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Now, some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Wow, I like that song. Do you know I never seen any of the Toy Story movies? How come they've done 3 of them? At least 3. And for some reason, I've not seen it through. I've seen parts of it, but anyway. Well, this next song is for Ed Swain on Holly Branch. Ed brings me these radishes from our community garden. They are the largest radishes I've ever seen. And one thing about them is that they're still sweet, even though they're large. I've tasted a lot of vegetables and fruits that are quite large, and they don't seem to be as tasty as the smaller ones are, but not with his radishes. They're absolutely delicious. There was a song, I'm going to go do just a little bit of this. There was a song in the off-Broadway show, Fantastics, and it goes, plant a radish, try it if you can. A man who plants a garden is a very happy man. a lot more of that song. I just abbreviated it. A little bird told me that Ed Swain and his beautiful wife Eleanor are celebrating their 60th anniversary on April 30th. So this show will be going on. It's played twice a day, every day. So on the 30th, they'll be able to tune in and listen to this. This song is very special to them. Now, I don't have the range that I did 30 years ago. There's, I wish I could say I did, but I don't. However, I just kind of move the notes around a little bit to help me out. But this comes from my heart, Ed and Eleanor. And I, too, wish you the most beautiful anniversary. Even though we're staying at home, at least you've got each other. Here you go. The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly. The trembling trees embraced the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by, and lost in a sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms open wide and close me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly. Tenderly for Ed and Eleanor. Happy anniversary. Tenderly was recorded by Rosemary Clooney, among others. I have a very special memory of Rosemary Clooney. I was playing in the Paddle Wheel Lounge on the Mississippi Queen in probably the middle of 1990. I can't remember, and I don't remember what river we were on. But as I was getting ready to play, one of the waiters came to me and said, Rosemary Clooney has just reserved a table in the lounge. And I got shook up because Rosemary Clooney was one of my idols. She had come on the boat to do a show, and she was with her fiance at that time, Dante, and also Nick and Nina. Nick, you might know from PBS, Nick Clooney, and he's been all over television, and his lovely wife, Nina, who have become very special friends to me, too. In fact, I had a birthday party on the river, and they came and were just so wonderful. They came for lunch. Well, I was nervous that Rosemary was going to be there, and I was 50 years old at the time, but that didn't stop me from having idols and really getting shook when I see them close to me. Well, I was doing the song, and I don't know why I got ready to do this particular tune. Maybe we were on the Tennessee River. I can't remember. However, I remember this song that I was getting ready to play. Well, let me digress. That when I saw Rosemary come in, I stood up, just that's just what I did. I just stood up and I just, of course I got, we've got a full house and all these people around here, they probably wonder what Phyllis is doing. I don't know if they saw Rosemary come in. So I stood up and I started to cry. And she left her table and came up to me and gave me the biggest hug. And all I remember saying to Rosemary was, "Oh, Rosemary, have you ever had an idol?" And she said to me, "Yes, I have always had an idol," and that was Ella Fitzgerald. Well, no, she said some other sweet things to me, and then she said, "Go on with the show, Phyllis." She sat down, and I was all ready to do this song, so I'm going to do it. Like I said, I don't know where we were. We must have been on the Tennessee River if I planned on doing this one. Oh, I want to say one thing before. I have to tell you this. Rosemary then invited me after my show. She sent something to me and invited me to come to a get-together the next day. We bonded. And I had found out that Gary, my husband, was diagnosed with throat cancer, and it was bad. And Rosemary and I, when we got together, we talked about it. She'd been through a lot in her life. We talked about it, and she was just so wonderful. She invited Gary and I out to her home in Beverly Hills. That was where she was living until she moved back on the Ohio River to Augusta, Kentucky, where Nick Clooney lives. And we never did get to her house because Gary was just, if anybody knows someone that has throat cancer, it's not very pleasant. But she was writing to Gary and giving him wonderful notes of comfort, which cheered him up so much because he loved her too. Then I was still working on the boat. No, I don't think I was working on the boats then. I don't remember. Just remember the time. But anyway, I happened to be, Rosemary was born in Maysville, Kentucky on the Ohio River. Then, and she passed away in Augusta, Kentucky on the Ohio River. So she loved that river. And anyway, I happened to see her. I happened to be there after she passed away and saw her grave before the stone was put on it. And I got very disturbed because the dirt was not fixed. Nothing was nice on it. And I saw one of those umbrellas you put in cocktails and thrown on there. And I was so upset. But later they did get the stone on there and fix it. It looks lovely. So that's my story of Rosemary. Here we go. And here's the song I was doing, the first song I sang to Rosemary. Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo, track 29, but won't you give me a shine? I can afford to board Chattanooga choo-choo, I've got my fare, and just a trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. I read a magazine, you're in Baltimore. A dinner in the diner, and nothing could be finer. I'd have to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. And when you hear the whistle blowing into the bar, and then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shuffle all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling. Woo, Chattanooga, there you are. And there's going to be a certain party at the station. A Saturday night lace I used to call a funny face. She's going to cry. I tell her that I'll never roam. Chattanooga choo-choo, oh choo-choo, oh choo-choo. Chattanooga choo-choo, oh choo-choo, oh choo-choo. Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga choo-choo, oh choo-choo me home. 1997, there was a disastrous and deadly flood on the Ohio River. I was in my small stateroom on the Delta Queen, and I had one of these little Sony televisions. I mean, it was little, big, long antenna. And I happened to turn it on, and I heard this anchor man talk to this lady who had just lost her house in Florence, Kentucky. And he asked her what she was going, what she would do now. You know, would she move somewhere else? And she said to him, I'll never forget that. She said to him, I will rebuild. The river has given me more than it's ever taken away. Well, that touched me, and I had to write a song. So I'm going to send this song out to Sally Fosnight, Dave Seymour, who live on Holly Branch. And they love this song. The song is called She's the Ohio. Ohio, in the Iroquois Indians from Ohio, called the river Ohio because Ohio means beautiful. So here it is, folks. A song I wrote called She's the Ohio, for the beautiful Ohio River. She winds between the highways. She winds between the hills. She carries her peaceful waters by the meadows and the mills. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Beautiful river. She's the Ohio. There are times when waters join her and a torrent flow appears, but we do not blame her. In her floods we see her tears. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Beautiful river. She's the Ohio. Steamboats float her waters, barges push along her banks. The towns along her shoreline give her glory, give her thanks. She's the Ohio. She's the Ohio. Beautiful river. She's the Ohio. Dave Parra and Kathy Barton recorded that song on their CD, Living on the River. We've lost the beautiful Kathy from cancer. I'm very grateful to them for doing that song. They did a beautiful job on it. All right, so right now we're going to do a couple of songs. My folks out in Oakview and Majestic Oaks, Memory Care, I want you to sing those with me because, you know, we love to sing along. So let's do a couple of sing-alongs. Here we go. The bells are ringing for me and my gal. The birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody's been knowing to a wedding they're going, and for weeks they've been sewing every Susie and Sal. They're congregating for me and my gal. The parson's waiting for me and my gal. And someday I'm gonna build a little home for two, for three or four or more in Loveland for me and my gal. Remember this one? I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One is for sunshine, the second is rain. Third are the roses that grow in the lane, and there is no need to explain. looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. That I overlooked before. Yeah, every week we're going to do some songs that you can sing along with me. Okay? When I was on the Delta Queen, I had a one-woman show with the band. And this song had been given to me to sing. I'd never heard the song before. The song is done by Tessie O'Shea. She did that. In fact, if you do not know who Tessie O'Shea is, she was from Wales. She loved America. In fact, she passed away in America. She had a place here. I'm not sure. I think it was around Mount Dora or someplace. I'm not sure. If you don't know the name, maybe you were watching the Ed Sullivan show when the Beatles were on their debut. Tessie O'Shea was on that show, and she played a song on her banjo, Two-Ton Tessie from Tennessee. So that might ring a bell. Well, this song here, folks, means a lot to me because when it comes to weight, I have been up and down and up and down and up and down all my life. And I just came to the conclusion that if you can't hide it, decorate it. You know, you got it, flaunt it. Well, I love this song, and it kind of became kind of like a logo song for quite a while of mine. So, by the way, we're hearing you might hear the lawnmowers out there. They're out there, so we'll just ignore them. They do keep our yards very lovely here in our village. So I don't know where he's heading now, but here we go. So I want to do this song for you. So if you've got a few pounds that you've been fighting with, well, join the club, folks. Now, girls in all these modern days to cultivate is quite the craze of lily ladies willowy and slender. I'm not like that, as you can see. Slim and never worries me. Skin and bone is tough, but fat is tender. I'm just the cutest baby in all sizes. And say, oh boy, have I got some surprises. There's a little bit here and a little bit there, but it all belongs to me. There's a very large curve on my sciatic nerve. It's very pronounced when I sway and I swerve. My friends often say, get some taken away at a massage establishment C. I said, dash it, my dears, I've had it for years, and it all belongs to me. Now, I've often been seen on a weighing machine with all that belongs to me. But I'm sorry to state that my size is so great, I have to pay an extra penny or it won't operate. The hand gives a spin. A chap with a grin says, lovey, only 7 stones 3. I says, don't be a clown. That's a second time around. And it all belongs to me. Now, what's a passion I had for a very nice lad that used to belong to me? But just like the lot, very jealous he got. For no earthly reason, his language was hot. He says, you're not true. You make me feel blue. There's something you're hiding from me. I says, darling, you're right. There's a lot out of sight. But it all belongs to me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I hope you like that. You know, there are 2 songs I want to do. I want my friends to sing along with me. This is very special to so many of our residents. So let's sing this together. I'll be loving you always. Sing it with me. With a love that's true. When the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Things may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. What a beautiful Irving Berlin tune from 1925. He actually wrote that as a gift to his wife. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm listening, folks, saying I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. And just one chorus of this for my sunshine singers out there. I miss you all. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Folks, don't ever take that sunshine away. And just as soon as we can, the Sunshine Singers will be singing once again in the Barker Center. So believe me, I do miss you. I've had several requests to do this song. And so I'm going to do a verse of it, and then I have another tune I'm going to go into. So I want to do this before we close, my friends. The time goes so fast. At least for me, I don't know about you, but for me it does. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Singing that song reminds me of singing at all the church services on the Delta Queen when I was performing there. And I remember a wonderful bus boy. He wasn't a boy, but they were called that. Bussers, I guess. Maurice Hardy. Maurice Hardy would always speak during the service. And he would always say, we're taking up a collection, which we never took a collection up, but we're taking a collection because we want to put a steeple on the pilot house. You know, all these memories come back as I'm doing these songs. I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe. I pray we'll find your light and hold it in our hearts. When stars go out each night, remind us where you are. Let this be our prayer when shadows fill our days. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Well, folks, we've come to the end of the show. I love you so much. And you know, for those that are at 3 o'clock pickup, you may see my cart's always number 1 up there. I get there early, and this is the reason. It's because I'm up there where I can see all the golf carts and the cars come in and look for my friends, so I can wave to you. That's the reason. I miss you, and that's my way of waving to you and seeing you as you come into the parking lot there. Please stay safe, my dear friends, so we can be together as soon as possible. And don't forget to smile, all right, because it feels good. Bye-bye, folks. See you next week.